Hello again, I'm Michaela, welcome back. Now just bear with me 1 minute, I mean literally just 1 minute, I'll be back. I actually shot that the day before I left my marriage. At the time, I don't think I knew I was absolutely going to do that the next day, but maybe I did on a subconscious level. I felt like I was right on the edge of something, on the edge of a cliff, I guess. And anyway, I shot that, which is something I would do now and again. Instead of taking photos out and about, I just used to take little video clips. And a very lovely virtual friend I have in New Zealand called Jeremiah Ross, who's an incredibly talented musician and songwriter. He actually composed a 1-minute piece of music for it, and I think it's really fitting. It was the turning point of me changing my life, and I was at the Reservoir, a place that I love, that I come to think and for some sanctuary and peace. I've gone through the whole gambit of emotions when I've been up here, from my darkest moments to being ecstatically happy, actually, and I have a bit more of that lately. So thank you, Jeremiah. I mean, that's pretty special, isn't it, having a bit of music made for you? So thank you, mate. Put a link to his website in the description, so please check him out. He's brilliant. So, do you fancy a walk and a chat? I do. I need to clear my head. Obviously late August, we've had a bit of a drought in England, well, not just in England really, have we? And my beloved Reservoir is a little bit short on water at the moment, as you can see. It's a bit alarming, I've never seen it this low. I'm keeping an eye on it. Not much I can do about it, so let's just have a chat. Well, this is the other side of the reservoir. I mean, normally I wouldn't be able to walk through here without getting very wet. Wow. Yeah, the reeds there, they're normally in water. Oh, we do need a hell of a lot more rain. I mean, I can't believe I can actually walk out to here. I was a bit miffed to find a big old skip here in a little area that I like to come to be quiet and among nature and the reservoir. I had a peep in and it's full of rubbish, and I guess, I mean, it's terrible. That's probably what's being found in or around the reservoir. Not quite sure what that netting is. Cans, plastic bottles. I mean, there's even a bloody cardboard portable kettle box. I mean, the amount of rubbish in here. What I don't understand is why, you know, people come to a nature spot and then leave all their crap and rubbish around. But I can't get my head around the fact that if they're coming to the nature spot, surely it's because they like it and they appreciate it. So why on earth would they want to desecrate it by leaving rubbish everywhere? Unless they don't appreciate it and they just wanted to go somewhere where it was a bit quieter. and perhaps nature and countryside doesn't come into it. I don't know, but I'll never ever get my head around that. I'm feeling a bit better for having come out for a walk. I was on the computer all day today, and needs must, but I really don't like sitting at a computer screen for hours at a time. All I want to do is be outside and go for a walk. Maybe I was a small dog in a former life. But wow, it makes me feel so much better. Literally, as soon as I'm in the countryside, breathing the fresh air and whatever good stuff is in it from all the trees and the plants and the earth. It's hard to explain. It's like coming home, I guess, that feeling. It's kind of like a, that's better. I just think it's very grounding when you get that close up to nature, and it takes your mind away from spiralling or stuff that doesn't matter really. We're near the end of August, but it's already feeling a little bit autumnal. Although it's warm today, but this morning was the first morning it felt a bit brisk, a bit cold, and it was misty. But you see this colour, like that grey blue of the clouds with a warm yellow of the crop, and then the vibrant green of the tree. For me, it's just a feast for the eyes, and it's a really good antidote from having sat at a computer screen all day. It's an interesting old tree. I wonder how old it is. Wow. I'm a bit rubbish with distinguishing tree types. I definitely know what an oak tree looks like. But this is not an oak tree, and I'm going to have to maybe Google the leaves to try and find out. I need to find out now. I won't be able to sleep otherwise. I just love having countryside all to myself. So this walk is the walk around the reservoir, although as you can see, you can't actually see the reservoir here. Reason for that is about half the reservoir has a walkway around it, so you are walking up above and right next to the water. But the other half is actually, the pathway brings you out into these fields, and the whole walk takes me about 40 minutes. The reason we can't get close up to the reservoir here is because actually it's a bit of a nature reserve for birds. So obviously we don't want people trampling close to the water all the way around the edge, otherwise you're not going to get birds nesting and so on, and it's a real bird watching place here. There's also a bird hide as well, so we'll take a little look in there when I get there. Sometimes it's empty. Oh, I don't know if you saw that. Something, I just surprised something. I didn't see it. It may have been a pheasant, but I'm gonna have to look at the video afterwards to see if I can see what that was. I've nearly got the place to myself. Yeah, so the bird hide, there's a little path that shoots off from the main path that goes towards it, and it's essentially a wooden hut with kind of thin open windows, there's no glass, for people to bird watch with binoculars, or you get lots of very keen nature photographers, bird photographers with enormous lenses, much bigger lenses than I've ever had. I'm quite jealous. Who knows, I might get into that one day. I'll tell you what I'd really love to do is astral photography. I mean, I'm going to need one hell of a lens to do that, but that's definitely on my bucket list, something I want to do. In fact, I will put a link to an Instagram account of a guy called Stephen, who is an amazing astral photographer. He gets like close-up shots of the sun, and you can see the surface of the sun. And he's not in some huge swanky observatory, he's in his back garden in North London, I kid you not. So because I've just thought of him, I'll just put a little link to his Instagram account, take a look, and if you like what he does, show him a bit of love, send him a like, and follow him if you want to. Sometimes when I'm out walking, I might listen to a podcast. It's usually something that I can learn from. Often something mindful or spiritual in terms of, looking after your own energy and being stronger. But other times I'll just walk quietly on my own, and I just find that I almost go into a bit of a trance. There are times when I'm not present and I'm thinking about stuff. It could be just things that are on my mind, or I might be thinking about something I'm working on and I'm starting to buzz with ideas, which are more likely to come to me when I am out in nature, because in nature I find it's almost like with the kind of rhythm of my walking pace, and it's peaceful. I find that my brain goes into slightly more of a meditative state, and that's often when ideas come to me, or inspiration, and I often feel quite a lot more positive. So, I think with meditation, you don't always have to sit there with your legs crossed. I get pins and needles sometimes, and meditate in what might be considered a traditional way. I actually believe that just walking quietly in nature and looking around and noticing things without thinking too much about them, I just feel that helps calm you down. I love it when it's high like this. It's just really natural. Makes people want to just run into it, lie down and hide. Bit of a flight path to Luton Airport here, so it's rare that it's completely quiet, to be honest, but I'm grateful for what I do have here. Oh yeah, I'm going to see the new Elvis film tonight with my friend Sue, so I'm looking forward to that. It's at the Rex in Berkhamsted, which is a lovely old cinema, an actual now I'm thinking, I don't know when it was built, but it's a real Art Deco cinema, which was restored some years ago, and it's absolutely beautiful. We're going to go down to the Hyde. When I walk up here, because I can be a bit of a loner sometimes, I like my own company, and so I'm often praying that there'll be no one in it, which is really unsociable. Because to be quite honest, when there is people in there, sometimes I have a chat with them anyway, and I really enjoy it. And occasionally they've shown me pictures on the back of their cameras that they've shot of birds and kingfishers, if we're lucky. Actually, I've not been in the Hyde since we've had this drought, so this should be interesting.
Oh, yeah. You gotta think, that's just a load of... Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Wow. I've not seen it like this before.
No, they're all a bit far away to that, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's interesting. I've never seen that stream running out to the reservoir before.
Oh, yeah, that's how it fills up.
Right.
Yeah, normally it's underwater and that. There's some sandpipers down. I can't see them now. There were some sandpipers in that stream, sort of bathing.
I can see a little white. Is that an egret?
A little egret out there.
Egret, yeah.
A little egret,
I quite like those, quite pretty. This is probably a bit of a big ask for my iPhone. Try and zoom in on that with the phone. What length scope is this?
Oh, that's half the size of his. There you go.
So it's still pretty good though. Yeah. Wow.
Bigger the front lens, the more light you get when you zoom in.
And this is a godwit.
It's a black-tailed
Godwit.
Yeah.
Right, wow.
Because you get bar-tailed as well,
Yeah.
not so common. But...
So that was the Hyde, and very informative it was too. I got to look down those chaps' telescopes, which was very interesting, and now I want one. But that's a bucket list thing. It's not for quite now. Now the guys in there are obviously serious twitchers, which is a nickname we call people that are into bird watching. Now I love birds, but I'm not anywhere remotely as knowledgeable as they are. They're really well into it. I really love birds. I'll never be a cat woman. I love all animals, but I'll never be a cat woman, and I'll probably never have a dog either. No offence to them, I think they're great. It's just I love wildlife. I'm more into wildlife than I am domestic animals, but I don't mind dog sitting for friends and family. I love that, but I also love the fact I can give them back at the end of the day, like you can when you babysit kids. And yeah, so birds, I mean, it's not like you can cuddle them, although having said that, I've cuddled a goose before. We used to have a goose that lived by the studio that I used to be scared of, and then it became quite amorous, which was a bit weird. And it used to kind of try and stand on my feet. It would pick grass and leave little piles of grass at my feet. I don't know if it was offering me nest building material. It was a bit strange. And I'd sit on the floor and it would come and stand on my legs and I'd cuddle it. Well, it eventually got a girlfriend after 7 years of having no girlfriend. Got a girlfriend goose. So this male goose was white. She was a grey goose. Really bossy. He stopped talking to me once the girl goose was in the frame. And but about maybe less than a year later, one of the neighbours accidentally ran over him. Apparently, I was gutted. Although I didn't know straight away. I thought he'd just flown off somewhere to set up home together, you know. But no. But it was nice while he was in my life. He used to also chase the car and try and attack it when I drove past. He was a bit of a nutter, really. Yes, and I've also cuddled the occasional hen. They're nice to cuddle because they're not scary like geese. They're all fluffy. But, you know, I'm talking about a nice, fat, fluffy hen, not a scraggy old thing. No offence to scraggy old hens. So what I love about this cinema is partly it's beautiful. So it's really plush and it's all sort of gold around the edges, like a really old classic theatre. And there's just the attention to detail is just lovely in there. Even the ceiling has got a beautiful sort of gold panel in it, and there's kind of like sort of shell style. There are lamps up the wall. So you've got an upstairs bit of the cinema, and they're all really comfortable, big seats. Next to each seat you've got a cup holder for your drink. You can actually fit a bottle of wine in it. So there is a bar there. So they serve wine and beer and some little snacks. You can have a little cheese board, but they don't sell packets of crisps or popcorn or horrible noisy food, because this is a very upper class cinema. Which is what I love about it. And then downstairs, where there's a bar at the back, and then you have little tables and chairs, and that's where we normally sit. Well, I'm just on my way home now from seeing Elvis. What a brilliant film. Desperately want some chocolate, and I'm going to bed. So I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.